What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day so far. In today's video, we are on the test server here, and we will be playtesting one of the brand new Void Legendary champions here, Celendiel the Opal. He is a high elf defense-based champion, the Opal Guardian. Sorry, I forgot to say the Guardian. But he is a defense-based damage dealing champion for the high elves. He is void affinity, which is amazing for a damage dealer. 16-19 base defense. That's a very solid amount of defense. 98 base speed. Hate to see it. It's a little bit below average, and he does have the 63% boosted crit damage for a damage dealer. Great to see. Let's check out his kit here real quick. He's got an A1 single target hit when counterattacking. Will repeat this attack against a random enemy. It has a 75% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be resisted. That's really nice to see, meaning you do not need accuracy for the stun to land. 75% chance is a solid chance to land the stun, and you potentially can stun 2 enemies if he's counterattacking. He's got an A2 here on a 3-turn cooldown, single book for 20% damage. Love to see that. Attacks 1 enemy before attacking, places increased defense on all allies, not just himself, and 15% shatter buff on this champion for 2 turns. So that's an additional 15% ignore defense. Will ignore 25% of the target's defense. So that means he's going to come in here with 40% ignore defense, as well as unkillable and block damage. This is unconditional, guys. This is really strong. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, like I said. He will ignore 50% of the target's defense instead if the target is under any increased defense, decreased defense, strengthen, stun, fear, or true fear debuffs. This potentially is a really powerful effect. Keep in mind, he does have the 15% shatter, which means he comes in with 40% ignore defense and 65% ignore defense on this single target smack. He also self-buffs himself with increased defense. The fact that it's on a 3-turn cooldown is also quite insane. No extra turn mechanics from this or turn meter, but still, this should be a delete button for most enemies. And then let's go into his A3 on a 4-turn cooldown. You got 20% damage from books here. Is an AoE attack. Places an extra hit on enemies under any increased defense, decreased defense, strengthen, stun, or fear debuffs. Will ignore any increased defense and strengthen buffs. Increase the damage each enemy receives by 5% for each buff and debuff on them. Stacks up to 100%. So 20 up to 20. You need max buffs and debuffs on the target to hit the maximum 20 for the 100% boost here. Also places unkillable buff on all allies and counterattack on all allies for 2 turns. Counterattack for 2 turns, unkillable for 1 turn. This is a pretty crazy attack with lots of potential for some extra damage. The extra hit is crazy, and then the damage increase also very crazy. Lots of ways to scale up your attack, and then he can buff your team as well with some of really nice buffs here, unkillable and counterattack. His passive effect, this champion is immune to decreased defense, meaning he's going to be at full power all the time. Fear and stun, these are very powerful and common debuffs that we're going to see very often. 1-turn active effect, activate this champion's Agent of Light, which is the A2. Whenever an enemy tries to place decreased defense, fear, or stun on this champion, does not set the Agent of Light skill on cooldown. So if somebody tries to decrease defense, fear, or stun him, he's going to come in with the A1 and probably destroy them. That is super sweet. It's on a 1-turn cooldown. And then defense in all battles, 33%. That's a nice juicy one here. Man, this champion looks, sounds, and looks amazing. All right, so let's check out the build I got in him. And I'm excited to bring him out into some content to see what he can do. All right, guys, so this is my Celendiel. He is very juiced up here. We got the 5-star blessing for him. Fell short of going all the way to the 6-star. For the 5-star blessing, we did choose Lightning Cage. His kit does bring quite a bit of buffs. He has 2 buffs here on the A3 and then 2 buffs here on the A2. So Lightning Cage makes a lot of sense. We are running him with a 1-turn or 1 stack of Total Guard with the Mercurial, and then we are running Lethal Set for the 25% ignore defense. Now, we are running him with a pretty big boy build here, so don't be discouraged if you cannot reach these stats. Obviously, adjust your expectations based on your own gear, own progress, and own account. But I wanted to show you guys what he can potentially do for you guys, especially those with this level of gear. And of course, we have to gear him out properly to fight some of those really insane defense teams that we have on the test server. So here we go, guys. Total stats on our Celendiel with the 5-star blessing. 7.2k defense, 335 speed, 385 crit damage. No accuracy is required on this champion. His stun debuff is irresistible. And that's about it. So really, really powerful build here. This is a champion that can potentially hit 100% ignore defense because his A2 stacks up to 65% potentially. And then once you put him with a lethal set, you got 25% here. So that's going to be 90% ignore defense potentially. And then, of course, you throw in Helm Smasher from the Masteries, which we have here. You're going to eclipse 100% ignore defense. These are the Masteries we have on our Celendiel. We did go down to Lasting Gifts just for some extra duration on his 4 buffs. I did contemplate going down the defense tree because his A1 is actually pretty nice with the stun, 75% chance to stun. So you can definitely go down to Retribution or Deterrence for defense tree if you would like to do that. For this build, we have him with extra potential chance of landing extra turns with the Lasting Gifts. For the gear here, obviously you want to focus on speed, crit rate, crit damage, and defense if you have it. So for example, here, this helm is incredible. The shield, if it had defense, would be better. This glove, pretty good. This chest is incredible. This boot is also very good. And then, of course, for the bottom accessories, just defense, crit damage, and defense. Damn, this is a really nice banner, actually, in Mercurial. For the relic, lots of choices here. We did go for the Cat's Gaze. This gives us 18% ignore defense, which will make us consistently or more consistently go over the 100% ignore defense cap. Since he has a good amount of damage boosting abilities on his skills, you might not need something like a Cat's Gaze, and just going for a lesser relic would also make sense. But anything with crit damage would be pretty solid. You don't necessarily need Mercurial or Total Guard. Running him in Stone Skin also makes sense. 9-piece Mercurial for this champion, I think, is not going to be as good. He doesn't have extra turn mechanics or anything like that. Although he does have a lot of ignore defense, so you could run a non-ignore defense set. So perhaps you could run without Savage or Lethal. And he'll still hit pretty good. But for this showcase, we got him pretty decked out here. So let's bring him out into some content and see how hard he can hit for us and see how well he can do. All right, guys, so we are in Dragon. Let's test him out here because he does get damage boosting from decreased defense, scaling up his abilities. So first up, we go with the increased defense here from Sifi. He does have an ability that buffs himself with the A2, but if you want to open with the AoE, he doesn't have a decrease. He doesn't have increased defense. So here we go. We're going to go decrease defense and weaken, and we can check out the animations and all that stuff. Also, let's check out what his AoE can do. So his AoE is going to hit an extra hit if they're under decreased defense, which they are under. So he's going to do a double hit. The damage will also increase based on the amount of buffs and debuffs on them. So right now, most of, they have 2 each except for 1. So we're going to get an additional 10% extra damage, and then he's going to place unkillable and counterattack. Okay, so let's see what kind of damage this guy can do. And he's going to do double hit, like I said. And wow, he just absolutely deletes. He deleted that wave. Obviously, decreased defense and weaken is applied. Wow, that was really nice. Really, really nice. Let's try without decreased defense and see how hard it can actually hit. So we're not going to do decreased defense here. And they also don't have many of the debuffs. So he's not going to get any damage scaling there, so no 10%. And he's not going to get the extra hit. So let's see if he can actually kill them now. No, single hit, he can't. Obviously, decreased defense and weaken, very, very helpful to boost up his power. Let's try again. Let's try his A2 now. So his A2 does have self buffs. So he's going to self buff himself with the increased defense and shatter. And he's going to come in with the 50% ignore defense because the targets have decreased defense on them. All right. So let's target the Venus here. The Venus, I think, is the tankiest champion. 1-time speed and boom, deleted 575k on that hit. Holy cow. I mean, at that point, he's probably hitting for 100% ignore defense. So absolutely absurd amounts of damage. Let's try this time with only 25% ignore defense. So we're not going to go for the decreased defense here, but we are going to go with the shatter buff. So we do get that. And we still have the 25% standard ignore defense. Let's go against the Venus again. 1-time hit and 400k. So, Still a huge single target hit, right? Obviously, we got some good gear on him. We got the cat's gaze on, but it's a huge hit without decreased defense and weaken. And let's test out the A1 quickly here. Let's see what it can hit for. We do have increased defense and shatter on. Not super crazy. Not super crazy, but it has a 75% chance to stun, which is pretty good utility. All right, so here are the official multipliers here for Celendiel. So his A1 is a 3x multiplier, but it's a potential for a extra hit. So potential, you're getting 6x damage, 6x defense worth of damage. The big thing here is that you do get the 75% chance to land a stun, which is great utility. Is a single target hit 4.1x defense. Now that's going to obviously, balance in the shatter, balance in the increased defense. And then, of course, balance in the 25% ignore defense or 50% ignore defense. The multiplier for a single target hit is actually quite low, 4.1. Usually we see them more around 5.5 or 6. But in this case, Celendiel have a bunch of buffing things happening to his damage. For example, 25% ignore defense, going up to 50% ignore defense, and then the shatter, and then the increased defense. For comparison's sake here, Harima, her triple hit A2 comes out to about 5.4x defense. She gets 30% damage from books instead of 20%, and she reduces the target's defense by 5% per hit. But she doesn't get ignored defense in that ability. She doesn't get increased defense, and she doesn't have, shatter buffs for more ignore defense. So I would say all things considered, this A2 from Celendiel is actually very, very powerful. The ignore defense is worth a lot. And of course, the self-buffing increased defense makes him so that he can run himself without any kind of support, which is amazing. Let's go into his A3. His A3 is an AoE attack at a 3.4x multiplier. It's actually quite low for an AoE attack. Keep in mind that it is obviously balanced around this double hit, right? So if he double hits, that's going to be a 6.8, which is insane amounts of damage for an AoE. It also gets additional damage up to 100% based on the buffs and debuffs on the enemy. And then lastly, he does offer these 2 insane buffs for your entire team. And again, we're going to look towards Harima, which is another defense-based damage dealer. Her AoE is on a 3-turn cooldown, and it's a 3.9 over X. Defense, she doesn't get any kind of damage scaling or damage boosting condition on that ability. So it's a slightly higher multiplier, and it's a slightly faster duration. But this ability from Celendiel is so much more powerful and has so much more value, even though it's a 4-turn ability. Again, have to give the edge here to Celendiel. Crazy kit in terms of damage. Let's see how well he performs in hard faction wars. I have no doubt that this guy would be an absolute menace in hard faction wars. As a damage dealer for the high elves, he's absolutely amazing, it seems. So there we go. We got the big AoE hit. It's just going to be the main damage dealer here for the squad. There you go. Big smack with a single target. And then, of course, the self buffs. Very, very good here. A1 stun, also very good just to control some of the waves. But his A1 is strong enough to hit and kill. Counterattacks, big damage coming in. So if he gets hit, big damage. So this, yep, there you go. Look, that's just the A1. A1ing his way through. Obviously, we do have a pretty big boy build here, but it looks very impressive, right? We're only on stage 19. Let's see how well we do here. That's just the AoE with no increased defense, and we get the job done. Then Razovarg here is going to die to the A1 because then we have the counterattack on the whole team. See how much damage is going in. Boom. And boom. There you go, dead. 580k from that A2. Just massive amounts of damage there. Yeah, we're going to plow through this. Oh my God. I love this champion. This champion is just crazy. Team support and crazy amounts of damage. Can we get the job done here? This final wave here is like always very annoying. Can we get the job done here? Single target. There's the stun of the A1. Very useful. Full auto right now, obviously, for hard faction wars. If you're just progressing, you probably want to manual this at some point. Can we get the job done here? Do we have the AoE ready? Remember, the AoE works against increased defense as well as decreased defense. Also works against strengthen. Oh, we are provoked. It's a little bit. I think we're done. Yeah, unfortunately, we're done here. You saw how quickly he cut through those waves. We just needed to manual the final wave there. It would have been no issues at all. Let's bring him into Hydra and see how well he performs. I think he's going to do pretty good. He's got a single target, massive smack with the big AoE, also self buffs, counterattacks on your whole team. So I definitely think he's going to perform very, very well. Let's see how he's going to work here. We do have a arena build on him, so he's not fully optimized for this. But this is a pretty good team. It has Crocat in here as the kind of damage ceiling in terms of non-mythical. I would say non-mythical, non-void, but he might be stronger than some of the voids. Non-Titus, I guess. Non-Titus, non-Trunda. Let's say that as the damage ceiling here. Let's see how he compares. His A1's not going to do anything against the Poison Cloud. He's getting a lot of extra attacks in. He is going to be part of the, I think he has the highest crit damage here. So he is going to be sent in by Incenza with her A1. All right. A1's going in. From the counterattack, yes. When he gets hit by the, when he's counterattacking, then he's going to come in with the double hit on the A1. That's a lot of extra damage coming in. Let's see. Right now he's buffed up. This is on full auto right now, so I'm not touching it or managing it at all. All right, let's pick him up. Come on. Pick him up with the revive. There we go. Big revive. Crowcad being massive. There's the AoE. Nukes himself from the reflect damage. That sucks. Sucks big time. There we go. Got the revive back. All right. Ally attack. Here we go. All right. Crowcat being massive. I just want to see what his A2 can do. A2 1.3 million from the A2. With obviously increased defense and shatter and all that stuff. All right, let's cut it off. We just want to see some basic gameplay here. Let's see what he can do with a couple quick battles. If he can do half the damage as Crowcat, that's going to be extraordinary, I think. I'm thinking he's probably going to be like maybe like a third, maybe a third. 885 total, and he's doing about 25% of what Crowcat was doing. So the damage output from him in Hydra is not super crazy impressive. It's not bad. He can work as a damage dealer, but he's not going to be like in the top tiers of damage dealers. For example, we used the new login champion Valerian in this exact spot, and I believe he was performing a little bit better than Celendiel. I would say with a slightly worse build, but it was running a 9-piece merciless build. So the builds are different, but the damage output was comparable / slightly better. So I wouldn't say Celendiel is a top tier Hydra champion, but definitely serviceable. All right, let's take him into some PvP content here. So first up, we're going to be going in here against Ian's team. Let's see what we can do up against Predator. We do go first. Chance to lock him out. Full lockout. Great. He does have a Donatello here, so maybe it's a chance to reset, for example. Let's bring down the stacks. Protect our team. Okay, so now we get a chance here to single target delete. The problem with that is that he does have Donatello, so Donatello will protect the first champion from dying. So let's use the AoE attack here. It's going to be a single hit, so no double hits or anything like that. And we do have Mercurial and stuff going on with 2 of the champions. But let's see if we can kill at least one of the champions here. And 100k and 95k, so not too bad. The passive from Donnie did save Fabian, but Donnie died, which is great. That's one trouble champion down. We do have counterattack on everybody, so this is great. Counterattack's so awesome because it allows us to come back and remove some stacks if needed. Okay, let's reset and lock out again. Now, let's single target delete. How much damage can we do to this? Let's say the Predator. How much damage can we do? All right. Boom. 400k against that Predator. Oh my god. That A2 is off the chain, guys. That A2 from this guy is pretty nuts. All right, let's bring it in here against Sheenie's defense. We got Predator, Polara, and Harvest Jack with Mavara. We got 3 champions in Mercurial, so that's a little bit standard stuff. You get a bad resist here, I think, from the Polara. Stealing buffs. Oh no. Predator coming in. And let's get some continuous heals going on. Okay, so increased defense, shatter. Can we kill somebody here? Can we kill? Who can we kill? Let's kill the Predator. All right, let's kill the Predator. We're gonna self-buff ourselves with increased defense. Let's kill the Predator. He survived somehow. He has something happened to keep him alive. I'm pretty sure, unless that Predator somehow survived him. That seems kind of crazy. Okay, so we have an opportunity to go through Unkillable here with his A2. So we got the reset, perfect, lockout, resisted, that sucks. Okay, so we got increased defense, shatter, and he has the ability to go through Unkillable and block damage. So this is amazing. Let's kill this Mavara here to get her out of the way, and we'll slow it down for the cameras, and boom, 250k against that Polara. That's big damage. Here we go. Polara transforming. Nope, no good. Okay, what else? Let's load up the AoE. I'm not gonna decrease attack. I know I could have just killed the Predator with the A2, but I wanted to kill them all one ability. So right now they just have one buff. The stack here. Increased defense is up. Shatter is up. Single hit, 175. Almost 200k on some of these hits. Really big hit from the AoE there without even the double hit. But Polara's passive resurrected them, which is pretty cool. Single target stun, that's cool. But yeah, this is really good. Here. Kind of just doing whatever. Oh, nice recovery. All right, back with a single target. Let's kill Harvest Jack. 340k. That single target, guys. Well, they do have Strengthen on, so Strengthen means... No, Strengthen doesn't matter for the A2. And boom. That's going to be it. 200k on the Predator, 140k against Polara. Pretty big damage. Pretty big damage there from Celendiel. All right, let's try this team here. Can kind of see some weaknesses with him. Like, he's not particularly great against Mercurial. Obviously, with counterattacks and stuff, it's a lot better, but I wouldn't say he's particularly great right off the bat, especially if you had to go first, for example. Like we have to use the A2 to self-buff, but we cannot go through Stone Skin. So it's a little bit of a bummer, right? Sure, let's just kill him off. 350k. I mean, yeah, it's a big hit. It's a big hit, guys. Resisted. Wow, I got 3% in there. That sucks. Reset. And yeah, I mean, he hits. He hits hard. He can hit hard. But is he going to be good enough in like Mercurial? Against Mercurial, he's, it doesn't really have the multi-hits. Against Stone Skin, obviously a little bit of a problem there too. But anyways, we're done here, so that's all good. All right, let's take him in against his team here. Not really sure content creator's name. I think it's in Ukraine or Russian. Let's go for reset. All right, so self-buffing. Can we kill this Bayek. We're obviously going to go into his passive. Don't think we can kill him. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Let's try to kill this Fabian, actually. Okay, let's try to do that. Okay, Fabian goes down 68k non-crit. So probably not enough to kill the Bayek. We can petrify you. Got resisted. Really? Really? Petrify? Really? A little bit of bad luck there, I think. All right. AoE time. Yeah, the Bayek's passive. Pretty strong. Pretty strong. But I think we should be hitting for full damage against the Pred. Okay, so that's going to be it. And we single target you down. 350k against that Marichka. We're going to lock you out. And AoE. There we go. Got the job done. I mean, Bayek's going to be a lot of problems for him because he doesn't run accuracy, but the rest of the team, like Marichka and the Predator, didn't have accuracy either, so it wasn't a super synergistic team, I think. We can run in here and give Ash's team a little try. I hate this champion, Tection. It's one of those champions that just wins fights without really needing to do too much. I'll say that. It's just really strong. It's just a really strong champion. All right, so his team's pretty slow, but we're going to get locked out here. Yep. Did Donnie resist? He did. There you go. Better builds prevail, perhaps. So here we go. Up against Mercurial. We're going to go with the single hit, right? Single hit's not going to be able to go through Mercurial. It is self-buffing and all that, but unfortunately won't be able to go through Mercurial. So I think we just save the single target hit for another time. And let's lock them out. Yes, we locked them out. We did strip off some of the stuff, which is great. AoE stuns as well. Just crazy stuff. Okay, let's take off the stack here, and then we're gonna go. We are buffed up with increased defense and shatter. Let's go for the AoE ability. It's gonna be a single hit, unfortunately. Can we get the job done? We do kill the Mavara. Get a revive in. That's just the A1. And yeah, the counterattacks do help. The counterattacks do help against Mercurial. So maybe he's better than I first expected. His own kit, not great against Mercurial in terms of overall hits, but the counterattack is very nice. I don't think I will be able to kill this Galathir with a single hit from the A2. Let's go after the Mavara again. Okay, she's dead. 138 through petrification. And okay, hit again. Hit again. Oh, he's back. He's back already. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh no, almost killed him. 60k from the A1 is pretty solid. Pretty solid. I mean, he does have shatter and increased defense, so he's pretty buffed up. Reset. Oh, Donnie's passive kept Fabian alive. And let's try to single target him down. Nope, he's got the Beyonder. Let's try to do this. Take him down. There we go. All right. Looks like we're going to be able to do this, guys. Single target. Smack. 235. Pretty solid. Obviously, he brings enough damage to go through a team like this. And the unkillables buffs for the whole team actually keeps everybody alive a little bit longer than usual. So that's really good to see. And the counterattacks that he places on everybody actually really helps against, lots of Mercurial stacks. So I think he covers quite a bit, guys. That's going to be it for the showcase here on Celendiel the Opal Guardian. I think he's an extremely, extremely powerful champion. He has an amazing kit. He has great crowd control on his A1, 75% chance to stun, no accuracy required. Huge damage dealing single target hit. It's on a 3-turn cooldown as well. We saw instances where he was getting the 50% ignore defense. We saw instances where he was not getting it, but he was still doing really good damage. Now, this ability, his AoE ability, doesn't hit hard enough without the extra condition, I find. It's a 3.4 AoE multiplier, so it's not crazy as a multiplier, but if you get 2 hits in, it's a 6.8, which is crazy. But it does offer you a little bit more than just damage. The unkillable, the counterattacks is really strong, really annoying to deal with as, you know, an enemy team trying to deal with it. And even his passive, it's kind of nice. He's immune to fear, he's immune to stuns, you know, and he's immune to decreased defense, which means he's going to be full power all the time. Obviously, a huge stud for a damage dealer for the High Elves faction. He's Void Affinity, which is amazing. Great base stats overall. Otherwise, other than the 98 base speed, we do have a crazy build on him, but hey, we're fighting some pretty crazy teams. So obviously scale back expectations based on your own account progress, guys. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Celendiel the Opal Guardian. I think he's really good. Congratulations if you guys pulled him. He's a great damage dealer with good survivability, good tankiness. Can kind of just, you know, self-sustain. He's kind of like the total package. Buffs himself and obviously brings support for your team, damage and crowd control. Also, no accuracy needed, so he's easier to build than hybrid kind of style damage dealers, and he's Void Affinity, so awesome. No affinity issue. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have him. How do you guys use him? Where do you guys use him? What do you guys build him in? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this showcase. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see out of Celendiel. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Always love to hear feedback. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It would really help me out. Thanks for watching until the end, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.